Hello, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and welcome to September. Here are the big dates to write down. I'll also put them in the description box down below. The month of September starts with Virgo energy in your second house. It stays with us until the sun moves into Libra, your third house of communication, your mind, thoughts, thinking, local neighborhood, etc. on September 23rd. Mercury is in Leo, your first house, until September 8th, but now moving direct, and it will be fully out of shadow and on the coffee by the 12th of September, having gone back into Virgo on the 9th. Venus is still in Libra in your third house until September 22nd. So energy around your first house, your body, also your second house of investments, banking, finance, luxury items, land, and farm falls here too. Farming falls in the second house ruled by Taurus. What you eat, what you put in your mouth is represented by the second house. Self-worth and immediate family are also represented by the second house as well. Because you'll have Libra energy lighting up your third house, which is also local community, your focus could be on topics like organizing, business and marketing, electronics, social media, communications, your mind, local community, neighborhood, siblings, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles. The best time of the year to initiate new beginnings in your life will be September 12th through October 6th, as all personal planets will be direct. On September 2nd, the Virgo new moon in your second house, again being highlighted. This new moon is at 11 degrees, affecting you most if you have Virgo placements in anywhere from 6 to 16 degrees, or Pisces, which is the opposite sign of Virgo, from 6 to 16 degrees. New beginnings can be planned or soon put into action around your finances, your bank accounts, immediate family, land investments if something came up, your diet. Saturn will oppose this new moon in Pisces over in your 8th house. So both of these money houses are the 2nd and the 8th, and they'll be very much highlighted actually over the next 2 years plus. But anyway, Saturn will oppose this new moon in Pisces in your 8th house, maybe creating a block in finances. You might be trying to secure a loan or have blockages around like shared resources or investments or even intimacy. A solution may show through Uranus and Taurus in your 10th house later in the month on the 17th, when it will make a trine to the Sun in Virgo in your 2nd. Also, Mercury will trine Uranus on September 24th. So if there's any difficulty, I see this kind of clearing up as the month progresses. It could be a sudden good career news or offer, or a bonus, a sudden job opportunity that also raises your self-esteem in your bank account. Maybe an additional title to the role you're already in, and then you're also granted more money because of that. The 10th house is a career house where Uranus in Taurus is currently stationed. In your 2nd house, it rules your 2nd house naturally. Just in the chart, Taurus rules the 2nd house. In your chart, it is Virgo who rules your 2nd house. Anyway, not to get too confusing there, the 2nd house is a money house. This could all be also a good time at the new moon to start a new diet or to get rid of something in your diet, like too much alcohol from summer fun, adding more water in, more energy-inducing foods, cleaner food. Also at the same time, Mercury in your 1st house will trine Chiron and Aries in your 9th house. Again, this is all on September 2nd. Will trine Chiron and Aries in your 9th house of the higher mind, and this could look like having a win over like a depressed state if you have been feeling a little down or having a difficult time. You could have like a flow and a positive new beginning here. Winning a legal battle is also possible, or some kind of healing through communication, and it lights up your higher mind, or you have a bird's eye view of something, and in turn it starts to change how you feel and how you think for the better. On September 6th, Mars enters Cancer in your 12th house of the hidden realm, deep subconscious patterning, faraway shores. The 12th house represents hospitals, ashrams, pilgrimages, past lives, deep empathy and spirituality, charities, prisons, but I hope no Leos are going to prison. I don't think so. Addictions, and also liberation. It's a moksha house. This energy will bounce back and forth between Mars in your 1st house and Mars in the 12th due to the retrograde period in which Mars enters its shadow period on October 7th. It moves into your sign by November, but then starts fully retrograding in December. Mars is in its shadow period for a good 8 weeks before and after retrograding. It won't be fully direct again until next spring. With so much focus on your first and 12th house and with the retrograde, it could look like you need rest and seclusion after much activity or possibly from a medical procedure, and this time would be well spent between rest and getting better. You could also be traveling to a far off shore, learning a foreign language, starting a charity in a foreign place. You could also be away with a love in a place, away from prying eyes over the next several months, like an extended vacation on a foreign shore. On a more positive note, you could be working with a foreign company or working hard and making money that comes from a company located in another country from yours. Say if you work like online or you have, business contracts and the money comes in from another country, or through PayPal or Stripe. You can move home to another country. Is the first house with Mars here can have you like on the go and moving, and Mars will be in Cancer in your 12th house. Cancer represents the home, the 4th house. And Cancer will be trining your 4th house, actually, of home and family. So it could take a bit to settle or maybe some back and forth for a bit, but it might be a move that you very much would be happy about or wanting to do. Maybe you're moving for work, like from the U.S. to England or something like that. Or also maybe you purchase land or a piece of property for like a vacation rental or Airbnb, and it requires you to put in like a lot of efforts and physical labor to get it into good shape for renting. On September 14th and 15th, Jupiter in Gemini trines Venus in Libra. This happens from your Gemini 11th house to your Libra 3rd house. Your 11th house is big hopes and wishes, lottery gains, the collective, internet-based projects, large groups of people, humanitarian and philanthropic groups. So those are just some of the things that fall in the 11th house. The 3rd house is your local community, day-to-day travel, local travel, coffee shops, bookshops, libraries, social media, short-form courses like herbalism, getting like an herbalism certification. I'm thinking of that because I'm thinking of Virgo. Neighbors, neighborhood, and siblings. You could win a local lottery, or you could have written an online book or an ebook that gains money and success now with this trine that also sextiles your sun, moon, or ascendant, especially around 15 to 25 degrees. You could be feeling more expansive and happy around these days, maybe from news that comes in or money that comes to you. Alternatively, you could meet someone via like a social group and fall in love, and it could happen through an online group or like a humanitarian cause that is in your local area. On September 17th, the full moon in Pisces, partial lunar eclipse happens at 25 degrees. I know in the August video I said the eclipse is a 1.5 year cycle. I was dealing with my own Mercury retrograde issue, and I had said the nodes were shifting in the spring. The nodes will move into the Pisces-Virgo axis on January 11th, 2025, and will last 1.5 years. The eclipses, we're in the energy of it right now, and this will continue all the way until February 2027. You may have already started to feel the rumblings of this eclipse cycle kicking off back in August, your Leo season. The themes that will start to unfold now and going forward will be around your Pisces 8th house matters, such as taxes, loans, shared resources, deep intimate bonding with a partner, the occult, magic, mystery, rebirth, inheritance, research, and investments. Also, I mentioned deep, intimate bonding, investments. At the time of the full moon and lunar eclipse, something could come to culmination or come to light around these topics, showing you where change is needed. For example, you need to change your taxes due to a change in income, and you have to find a good accountant. Intimate issues with a partner can come to light. Saturn is sitting here and creates blockages and sometimes problems and karmic situations. It could represent blockages in intimacy or blockages and difficulty in getting shared resources or money like a loan. You could feel like a drying up of shared resources for a few examples. What I like is that Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto will be making positive aspects to this eclipse, creating a new way as conjunctions create new potent energy, and that would be Neptune conjuncting this full moon and this partial lunar eclipse. Pluto and Uranus will sextile the moon in the eclipse, of giving the momentum of suddenly being able to move forward. Uranus can break through Saturn blockages, as Uranus in mythology was the father of Saturn, and can offer, Uranus can also offer like sudden insights or assistance. Pluto hovers on the line between your 6th house of workaday, things that you have to do in your health and day-to-day mundane reality, in the 7th house of partnership, but also can represent the public in a way. It can bring in a fated change through that area. Maybe a person you work with or a lover comes in who is transformational in your life, Pluto, and helps with the area of 8th house matters, healing them even. Could also be a business partner, as the 7th house represents close business partnerships. This may not happen right away as Pluto moves slowly, but may start to unfold after this eclipse and over the next 2 years, but the changes can start to happen now. Alternatively, Uranus and Neptune can bring deep creativity. Maybe you're writing like a mystery novel and you get sudden downloads for your book, or deep spiritual downloads, or you're diving deeper into the occult, magic, and astrology. Uranus wants to break you free, and when it positively hits an eclipse in the 8th house, this can happen. So if you were entangled in shared resources or a difficult relationship, it can also set you free unexpectedly. And the other end of this money axis is your Virgo 2nd house. So I see this as kind of like a balancing act between the money you make, your bank account, your self-worth, and then the 8th house of other people's shared income. Could also be releasing like codependency as well on somebody else's money. The 2nd house is a self-worth house, so maybe work needs to be done to improve that area for you, especially if you felt a blockage in like intimacy and resources. I pulled a tarot card for each sign as an extra piece of advice, and for you I pulled the 6 of Cups, which I love. It's a beautiful card here, and I'll read from the book. Here a woman lies in the meadow. She observes 3 children playing in front of her. While enjoying their innocent play, the woman feels nostalgic as she fondly remembers her own long-ago childhood activities. The children share 6 balloons with one another, showing goodwill and kindness. I love this for you, as the 6 represents balance, and again, I had just been talking about balance. There's a lot of green in this card, which can represent your heart chakra, and Leo is ruled by their big, beautiful hearts. You also represent children and creativity and the child within. I think in simple terms, the more that you can strike a healing balance between your immediate family members, that 2nd house of Virgo, or a significant other in which you are deeply bonded to in love and resources, the more open and healthy your heart will start to feel. Also, this message comes to take care of your health and your heart specifically. Virgo 2nd house also represents diet and what you eat, so start incorporating like more fiber, more greens, getting away from like bad fats in the diet, red meats if possible, and start eating cleaner and adopting a healthier diet. And also by doing so, you can start to feel lighter and even better, and ultimately increasing your self-esteem as a healthy diet changes the way you look. But I am not a doctor. Always consult with your nutritionist or doctor before making any huge dietary changes. With that being said, moving on, September 23rd, the sun will move into Libra until the 22nd, illuminating that 3rd house again. So there'll be a lot of activity in the 2nd house, this 3rd house, and your 8th. The 3rd house, again, represents like elementary education as well, speaking and writing, vehicles, neighborhood, business and marketing, just to name a few. I mentioned them before in detail. You've hosted the South Node here as well since July of 2023, and it will be leaving by January 2025. You could have been letting go of old mindsets or ways of communicating, and more focused on 9th house, higher mind, and education topics. Now with the sun transiting through and Mercury coming to visit on the 27th, you could be communicating more and on the move locally, driving here and there, taking care of everyday things, communications, feeling generally more positive or lighter for the next few weeks. Having meetings at like coffee shops and stuff like that could be happening here too. The 3rd house is a self-made wealth house, and you could be working hard on a startup or developing social media or an app, or working on contracts and negotiations via text, email, or phone calls. On the same day, September 23rd, Venus moves into Scorpio in your 4th house of home and family and ancestral roots until October 17th. Bringing more love and peace at home, more loving communications can happen now if there's been discord or difficulty. You could also be beautifying your nest for the fall season, doing a deep cleaning and purging, which Scorpio likes purging. making home feel more spacious and flowing better. Mars in Cancer from the 12th house will trine over to that 4th house on the 29th for a few weeks, and that can be felt until October 17th, giving you the courage and ease to heal deep subconscious patterns that affect the home life, or any family healing that may need to happen can happen now. You could be cutting away from addictions that have had an adverse effect at home as well that can come up, or you can simply be spending time with a loved one behind closed doors, deepening your intimacy, as this is Venus and Mars, after all, the lovers of the zodiac. These are deep and hidden water houses, the 4th and the 12th. You could also travel far with someone around this time, someone you love or that you are intimate with. You could not want to be social around these dates. And once again, these dates are, let's see, I'll list them in the description box below. I lost them there for a second. But anyway, you just might want to be spending more time with someone that you care about, or just more time at home, diving deep into like spirituality or, movies at home, and just wanting to spend more time there. Not a bad way to end the month, Leo. We'll see you in October.